Life will always test you. It will break you down. It will challenge your patience. And sometimes it will feel as if the world has turned against you. But understand this, every fall, every setback is not the end. It is a preparation. The storm is not here to destroy you. It is here to awaken your strength. When you are lying on the ground, when you feel defeated, that is the moment when your true journey begins. Because it is not the fall that defines you, it is the rise. Today, I invite you to see every obstacle as a hidden teacher, to see every failure as a seed for growth, and to embrace the pain. Because it is the very fire that forges your comeback. The question is not, will you rise? The question is, how much stronger will you rise? Life is not a straight line. It is a journey filled with rises and falls, moments of strength and moments of deep vulnerability. Many people believe that strength is only shown when everything goes well, when they can continue moving forward without resistance. But true strength is revealed in the moments when life brings you down to your knees, when the weight of circumstances makes it almost impossible to stand. These are the moments where you are forced to confront yourself, to face your fears, your doubts, and your hidden insecurities. It is in these very moments that you are given the opportunity to rise again, to rise not as the same person you once were, but as someone transformed, refined, and made stronger. When you fall, it is not a sign of weakness. Falling is part of the human experience. It is inevitable. To stumble, to fail, to lose something valuable. All of these are reminders that nothing in life is permanent, and that growth does not come from comfort. Think about the bamboo tree. For years, nothing seems to happen. No growth is visible above the surface. But underground, the roots are spreading, creating a foundation strong enough to support its rapid rise later. The fall, the pause, the silence in your life is much the same. It is a preparation phase. What looks like failure is often the foundation of your greatest comeback. People often ask, why me? Why do I have to suffer? Why do I have to carry this burden? The answer is not always clear, but suffering can be the most powerful teacher. Pain exposes what lies beneath the surface. It reveals where you have been avoiding growth, where you have been hiding behind excuses, and where your real strength has yet to be awakened. Instead of asking, why me? Shift the question to, what is this teaching me? That single change in perspective transforms suffering into wisdom. And wisdom becomes the first step toward rising stronger. The comeback begins not when others believe in you, not when the world gives you permission, but when you make the decision within yourself that the story is not over. Every scar you carry, every wound you have endured, is a testament to your survival. But survival alone is not enough. Survival is the foundation. Rising stronger means using your scars as a source of power, a reminder that you have already endured what many could not. Your past becomes your weapon, your pain becomes your energy, and your failures become your guidance. There will be voices around you that tell you to stay down, that you are not capable, that your time is over. But the most dangerous voice is not the one outside. It is the one inside your own head. That voice that whispers that you are not good enough, that you cannot rise again. The inner voice can either be your greatest enemy or your greatest ally. If you feed it with doubt and fear, it will keep you on the ground. If you feed it with discipline, courage, and persistence, it will lift you higher than you have ever been. Resilience is not built by avoiding challenges. It is built by walking through them. Imagine a blade of steel. Left untouched, it remains dull and fragile, but placed in fire, hammered and folded, it becomes sharp, unbreakable, and strong enough to cut through anything. You are the same. Every setback, every failure, every disappointment is the fire and hammering that refines you. It is uncomfortable, it is painful, but it is necessary for the creation of a stronger version of yourself. The comeback is not about returning to where you once were. It is about going beyond that place, reaching a level you could not have reached without first being broken down. Growth requires destruction. Old patterns, old beliefs, old fears must be shattered before something new can emerge. Just as the seed must break apart before the tree can grow, you too must allow the old parts of yourself to be destroyed so that the stronger version of you can rise. The journey of rising stronger is not about speed, it is about consistency. Step by step, day by day you rise. Not with sudden leaps, but with quiet determination. Every small step is proof that you are no longer defined by the fall, but by the strength you find in getting up again. The world will try to measure you by your achievements, by your status, by your possessions. But the true measure of a human being is not how high they can climb when things are easy. It is how high they can rise after being broken, after losing everything, after standing face to face with defeat. Every human being carries within them an untapped reserve of strength. Yet most people never come to discover it because they avoid the very experiences that would force this strength to awaken. Discomfort, uncertainty, and pain are not pleasant companions, but they are necessary guides. They push you to the edges of what you think is possible and invite you to step into a version of yourself you did not know existed. If life had no resistance, no challenges, then the muscles of resilience, courage, and determination would never develop. Just as the body grows stronger through resistance, the mind and spirit are strengthened through adversity. There is a deep misunderstanding about failure. Many view it as the opposite of success, when in reality failure is part of the process of reaching it. Every failure carries within it information, lessons that cannot be learned through theory or comfort. To fail means to be given feedback from life itself, showing you where you must grow, where you must adapt, and where you must let go of old patterns. Those who avoid failure avoid growth, and those who embrace it with awareness transform failure into their most valuable teacher. Consider the mountain climber. To reach the summit, he must endure exhaustion, cold winds, and dangerous paths. Every step upward is earned with effort, and the higher he goes, the thinner the air becomes. But he continues because he understands that the view from the top can never be experienced by those who stayed in the comfort of the valley. Your struggles are your mountain. They demand energy, they test your limits, but they also offer the possibility of a perspective that cannot be gained without the climb. The greatest comebacks are not built on avoidance, they are built on confrontation. You cannot rise stronger if you continue to run from your weaknesses, your fears, and your doubts. Strength is not born from hiding, it is born from facing. Facing the parts of yourself you would rather ignore. Facing the memories that still cause you pain. Facing the insecurities that whisper to you in the silence of the night. When you have the courage to look directly at the shadows within, they lose their power over you, and in their place rises clarity, inner calm, and unshakable confidence. There is an important truth to remember. No one is coming to rescue you. People may support you, they may encourage you, but the act of rising, the act of rebuilding, can only be done by you. To place your hope in others is to give away your strength. The comeback begins with responsibility. The moment you accept that your life is in your hands, that your response to hardship is your choice, you unlock the power to rise. Blame will keep you on the ground. Responsibility will lift you. The comeback also requires patience. In a world that glorifies speed, it is easy to become frustrated when results do not appear quickly. But true transformation takes time. Just as the tree cannot grow overnight, you cannot expect to rebuild yourself in a single moment. The process of rising stronger is gradual, often invisible at first, but every small act of discipline, every decision to keep going, becomes a brick in the foundation of your new self. The key is consistency. Even when progress seems slow, even when no one notices, your persistence shapes the person you are becoming. Inner strength is not about ignoring pain or pretending to be unaffected. It is about feeling the weight of your struggles and choosing to move forward anyway. It is about carrying your scars with dignity, knowing they are proof that you survived. The strongest people are not those who appear unshaken, but those who have been shaken deeply and still found the courage to continue. They have learned that vulnerability does not make them weak. It makes them real, it makes them human, and it makes their strength authentic. Every setback in life is an invitation to rise into a higher version of yourself. When something breaks, it creates space for something new to emerge. When a chapter closes, it creates the possibility for another to begin. The challenge is to resist the temptation of staying attached to what was, and instead step fully into what can be. To rise stronger requires not only physical or mental strength, but also the willingness to let go. Let go of the past that cannot return. Let go of the image of who you used to be, and allow yourself to step into the unknown future that holds your transformation. The comeback is not just about proving something to the world. It is about proving something to yourself. It is the realization that no matter how many times you have fallen, you still have the power to rise. And every time you rise not as the same person who fell, but as someone with greater wisdom, greater resilience, and greater strength. Every journey of transformation begins with awareness. To rise stronger than before, you must first recognize where you are standing and what has held you down. Many people rush forward without reflection, trying to escape their pain by distracting themselves with noise, with business, with endless movement. But the truth is, you cannot rise if you do not face the ground you are rising from. Awareness is the starting point because it brings clarity. It shows you the patterns that led to your fall, the habits that drained your strength, and the beliefs that limited your potential. Without this clarity, any rise will be temporary because the roots of the setback remain untouched. Awareness requires honesty. To be honest with yourself is not always easy because it demands that you confront uncomfortable truths. It is easier to blame circumstances, to blame other people, or to claim that life has been unfair. But real growth begins when you look into the mirror and admit where you have avoided responsibility, where you have allowed fear to control you, and where you have settled for less than you are capable of. This honesty is painful, but pain is not your enemy. Pain is a signal pointing toward the areas where you must grow. Once you see clearly, the next step is to choose consciously. Too often, people live on autopilot, repeating the same actions, following the same routines, and expecting a different outcome. But rising stronger requires a break from unconscious living. It requires you to choose discipline over comfort, purpose over distraction, and growth over stagnation. Every choice you make is a vote for the person you are becoming. Even small choices, when repeated daily, shape your identity. The comeback is built not by one grand decision, but by the accumulation of countless small, conscious choices that align with the vision of the stronger self you are creating. Discipline becomes the backbone of this process. Without discipline, motivation fades because motivation is temporary and influenced by moods and emotions. Discipline, on the other hand, is steady. It carries you forward even on days when you feel tired, uninspired, or doubtful. Discipline does not ask how you feel, it asks what must be done. It is the silent force that ensures progress continues, even when no one is watching, even when no one applauds. To rise stronger than ever, you must cultivate discipline as a daily practice, because it is the structure that supports your transformation. Another essential element in the process of rising is patience with yourself. We live in a culture that celebrates instant success and immediate results, but deep and lasting change does not happen overnight. Just as nature follows its own rhythm, your growth has its own pace. To demand quick results is to misunderstand the process. The seed does not bloom on the day it is planted. There is a time of waiting, of nurturing, of unseen growth beneath the soil. In the same way, your comeback requires patience, trust, and persistence. Progress may not always be visible, but every day of effort is strengthening your foundation, preparing you for the moment when the results will reveal themselves. The mind plays a crucial role in this journey. If the mind is filled with doubt, negativity, and fear, it will sabotage your rise before it even begins. The thoughts you repeat to yourself create the reality you experience. If you tell yourself you are weak, you will act in weakness. If you tell yourself you cannot succeed, you will not attempt with full effort. But when you train the mind with empowering thoughts, when you feed it with belief and courage, you align your actions with strength. Just as the body requires nourishment, the mind requires positive and purposeful input. Guard your mind carefully, because it is the soil from which your comeback will grow. Energy is another aspect that must not be ignored. Where your energy goes, your life follows. Many people waste their energy on resentment, anger, and regret. These emotions drain you, leaving little strength for growth. To rise stronger, you must redirect your energy toward what serves you. Forgive where forgiveness is needed, release what cannot be changed, and channel your energy into constructive action. Energy is finite, and every moment you spend clinging to the past is energy stolen from your future. In this process, solitude becomes valuable. Silence and stillness give you the space to reflect, to listen to your inner voice, and to reconnect with what truly matters. In solitude, distractions fade, and clarity emerges. The noise of the world often drowns out the whispers of your own soul, but when you allow yourself time in silence, you rediscover your inner compass. Rising stronger is not about following the crowd or copying the path of others. It is about aligning with your unique direction, your authentic purpose, and your personal truth. The comeback is not only physical or external, it is deeply internal. It is not measured by how others perceive your strength, but by how deeply you feel your own resilience, your own ability to endure, and your own capacity to create anew. When you build from within, the external victories naturally follow, because they are a reflection of the inner transformation taking place. Strength is not only about standing tall in the light. It is also about how you carry yourself in the darkness. The comeback journey is not a straight path where everything becomes easier once you decide to rise. Instead, it is filled with tests, temptations, and unexpected challenges that attempt to pull you back to where you once were. To rise stronger than ever, you must develop resilience that is rooted not in circumstances, but in the stability of your inner self. External situations will always shift like the seasons, but the strength within can remain constant if you nurture it daily. Resilience does not mean being unshaken or unaffected by hardship. It means feeling the full weight of difficulty and still continuing forward. It means knowing that life will not always be kind, yet refusing to let bitterness grow inside you. It means being willing to stand alone if necessary, to walk a path that others cannot understand, because you recognize that your journey is not meant to be identical to theirs. True resilience is quiet. It is not displayed in loud words or dramatic gestures. It is revealed in the simple act of showing up again and again, no matter how many times you have been pushed down. To sustain this resilience, you must create practices that anchor you. Just as the body requires food, the spirit requires nourishment. Practices such as meditation, stillness, physical discipline, or reflection are not luxuries, they are essentials. Without them, the mind becomes restless, scattered, and easily controlled by fear and doubt. But with consistent practice, the mind becomes calm, clear, and sharp like a blade. And with a clear mind, you are able to respond to challenges rather than react to them. Rising stronger is not about force alone, it is about balance. Balance between strength and softness, between effort and stillness, between action and patience. Another key aspect of the comeback is vision. Without vision, your energy becomes scattered, your steps unfocused, and your willpower easily broken. Vision is the guiding star that keeps you moving forward when everything else feels uncertain. To rise stronger, you must know what you are rising toward. Ask yourself, who do I want to become? What kind of life do I want to create? What values must guide me along the way? Vision provides meaning to the struggle, and meaning is what transforms pain into purpose. Without vision, struggle feels empty. With vision, even the most difficult path becomes meaningful. Alongside vision comes the power of gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is missing to what is present. It reminds you that even in your darkest moments, there is something to be thankful for. Your breath, your strength, your chance to try again. Gratitude does not erase struggle, but it changes your relationship to it. Instead of seeing challenges as punishments, you begin to see them as opportunities. Instead of feeling weighed down by what you lack, you feel empowered by what you already have. Gratitude is a quiet force that strengthens resilience because it teaches you to find light even when the path feels dark. To rise stronger also requires surrounding yourself with the right influences. No one rises in complete isolation. The environment you create, the people you allow close, and the voices you choose to listen to all shape your journey. Some will lift you higher, others will pull you down. Choose carefully, because your circle either fuels your growth or feeds your doubt. But even with supportive people, remember that the ultimate responsibility remains with you. Others can inspire you, guide you, or encourage you, but they cannot walk the path in your place. That step must always be yours. There will be moments when the weight of your comeback feels too heavy, when progress seems invisible, when you question if the effort is worth it. These are the defining moments. To rise stronger than ever means to keep moving even when the reward has not yet appeared. The process itself is the training. Every day of persistence builds character, discipline, and resilience that no external reward can replace. The outcome matters, but the person you become in the process is the true victory. In the end, rising stronger is about alignment. Alignment between your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Alignment between who you are today and who you wish to become. When there is alignment, you move with power, because there is no inner conflict. When there is alignment, the energy that once scattered in doubt and hesitation becomes focused like a beam of light. And when that focus is directed toward growth, resilience, and vision, nothing can stop you from creating the comeback you are meant to live. So now you stand at the edge of choice. Behind you lies the story of your falls, your struggles, and the weight of every setback that has tried to define you. But ahead of you lies the possibility of transformation, the chance to write a new chapter with strength born not from comfort, but from challenge. The comeback is not about erasing the past. It is about using it as fuel, using it as wisdom, and allowing it to shape you into someone greater than you have ever been. Every scar on your body, every wound in your heart, every tear you have shed has brought you here. And here is not a place of defeat. It is the beginning of your rise. The strength you seek is not somewhere outside. It has always been within you, waiting for the moment you decide to claim it. Do not wait for the perfect time. Do not wait for the world to believe in you. The rise begins the moment you choose it. Stand up, take the first step, and let each step remind you that you are not the same as you were before. You are stronger. You are wiser. You are unbreakable. This is your comeback, and it will be stronger than ever.